many years now. Those who come regularly, they know. And a very interesting and a different topic today. 2,600 years of Indian history witnessed by its coinage. And again, this is a special topic, but it's not going to be delivered by a historian or an archaeologist or some expert or a heritage conservationist, but none other than Dr. Tejus Naik, a well-known pediatric surgeon.
History. I'm not a historian. I'm not even a student of history. If there is a college of history, a good historian is called a postgraduate, and the experts would be PhD. I'm not even in a kindergarten, I'm in a playgroup. I know very little of history. Many of you might be knowing much more than me, at least in some parts. And that's why I do not claim that I know history. But I've studied it. I'm very enthusiastic about it. And one thing which has helped me is my coin collection, because it has gone parallel to the history. The first coin came about 600 BC in Gandhara era, and also in Greece and China. Within a short span of 1 century, 3 countries started coins. We claim it was India. The world thinks it was Greece. In any case, it was started by smart merchants. It was like hundi. That if you want some money, I give you the coins. You can go to other city and exchange it. And that is how the coin started. But when the rulers realized that this was a very useful system, they stopped people from making coins. They took away the right to mint coins, which we know has been now also. And that is why the rulers started making coin. The first coin, which I have already passed, number 4, is please realize, this is the first coin of the world. It was called bent bar. It was in Gandhara. Gandhara, as we know, is in northern Afghanistan and northern Pakistan. So the coin started there. They were in this shape, bent bar. Funny shape. And one would think, yeah, why not circular? The answer lies in the next slide. Here I have shown 4 things. Can you tell me what is first?
Coin.
No, first is a record which plays music. This was the first record made by Edison. You can see it in my museum also. The second was the first car made by Benz. The third is the Wright brother plane, but it may look like plane, but it flew the other way. The front was this end. And the fourth. Why are we there? Because they were the first. The inventors didn't know what shape there should be. They tried a shape which changed with time, with convenience. And that is why these coins were bent bar. Now our real story starts, 2600 years of Indian history with the coinage. Let me introduce the timeline here. The timeline, this will now remain fixed, which is 1000 BC to 2000 AD. And the old terms BC and AD are now replaced by BCE, that is before Christian era, and CE or current era. This is the modern terminology. So that is what we will see. This is where actually the main rishis came, and this is where the Vedas and everything was written. So this is an important area of the Indian Janapadas. Janapadas made coins like this. I have almost every Janapad's coin. For example, Avanti Janapad with Ujjain as the partner, Shursen and Kuntala, and you can see the coins also, Kaushal and Kashi coins. These were the coins of the Janapada, which were of a very different type. Soon after that period, Alexander attacked. Can you see the empire of Alexander came from Greece, Macedonia? He ruled half of the civilized world, and at such a young age. Here let me point out one thing. Whenever you see these years, generally they are years of rule. Koi bhi king na years to all. Generally it is not their birth to death. It is their rule. Just giving you a pointer there. Alexander was supposed to be a reincarnation of Hercules. And Hercules had slain a huge lion called Nemean lion, mythological. And that is why Hercules was always shown wearing that lion's head. And that is why Alexander was also shown on coins wearing the lion head. He attacked the north of India. At that time, in the Punjab area, the king Porus was ruling. He was defeated, though Porus had a very powerful army, and the Greek army had for the first time seen elephants. They were very afraid of it. Still, he conquered. When Alexander conquered Porus, his lion head once on the coins was replaced by an elephant head. They were very, very rare coin in some museums. So this is only once it was made that elephant. Why? Because elephant represented India. Also one coin was made where Alexander on the horse was attacking Porus on elephant, which is a famous story. In the time of Chandragupta Maurya, when Alexander died, his Senapati Seleucus took over the empire and again attacked India. Chandragupta stopped. Seleucus was defeated, he could not come at that time. This, the sixth, is Chandragupta Maurya coin. What is the common method? Die struck. This was the common method for thousands of years coins were made. How were they made? There was a lower die with an impression of a figure or written matter. Then they would put a piece of hot, soft metal over it, put a second die, and then hammer it. So this will give coins like this. This method lasted for 2000 years. The languages on the coins are the languages which happened. And historically, the languages in India are divided into two groups, Indo-Aryan like Sanskrit and its descendants, and Dravidian like Tamil and other. Even Tamil is 300 BC old. You do understand the difference between language and the script. Language is what we speak, script is what we write. The scripts were Indus. Indus scripts, even today nobody has deciphered. Some people believe that it's just figures, not a language, but it has not been deciphered. At this point we come back to our history. We have seen a bit about the coins. Now our history starts from early invaders. You realize they don't fall into ancient or medieval, but they straddle over it. So part of the invaders are in ancient, part in the early medieval era. And these were the rulers which came for 900 or almost 1,000 years. The first of them were Greeks, not Alexander. Alexander left. Seleucus did not succeed. It was Demetrius who came, and this was 2nd century BC. Alexander was almost 50-60 years before him. And there was a large empire they built in northern India. This was called Indo-Greek. They also made coins. The coins that you see are not Greek coins, they are Indo-Greek coins. Beauty of the gold coins, they are still there and still available. I mean, some are very, very expensive. Some even you can buy. Gold coins. Solankis of Gujarat. Solankis ruled Gujarat. They came from Chalukyas, which are slightly more south. And notably Siddharth Jaisi was a great king. Siddharth Jaisi had a very affluent empire in Gujarat, but there is a mystery of coinage. That how come this great king never had big coins or no coins survived? Only a small little bit of coin survived. This is our display number 8. It's a very small coin with an elephant and written matter on it. Only one coin has survived from his rule. But he made lots of important structures. These are 5 important monuments of Gujarat I just mentioned. Sun Temple, Modera, was made by grandfather of Siddharaj, Bhimdev I. Ranini Vav was made by Udamati, who was wife of Bhimdev. Sahasrali Talab and Rudramahal were made by Siddharaj himself. And Adalanti Vav, much later, by a Vakheraki, Veer Singh's wife, Rani Uda. So these are some historic points we have added here. At the same time, 3 other empires existed, Rashtrakud and Pala. Pala requires a mention because Pala were precursors of Bengal. Bengalis came from that dynasty. These are the Pala coins, and Pala had capital in Patliputra. They supported and expanded Nalanda. Now there are lots of, I have narrowed it down to a few, but still there are many. I'll just name them. Chalukyas, they lived in this area. If you have how many of you, I'm not going to tell you to raise your hands, but how many of you have been to Hampi, this Badami and Pattadakal? There is an area where you will see Dravidian culture, Dravidian architecture made by the Chalukyas. Rashtrakuta again lived the similar empire, and they made Kailash temple of Ellora. Chandelas, which were in central India, made Khajuraho. the East Ganga Empire made Konark and Puri temples. And you see they often use Indian gods, goddesses on their coins. More so in the south than in the north, the gods, goddesses were used in the coins. Similarly, Pallavas, who made the Mahabalipuram now famous by the visit of a prime minister, and you are familiar with the Meenakshi temple of Madurai. This was made by Pandyas. But one empire which requires separate mention is Cholas. Cholas had a massive, and again see the year, this was 9th century. While this almost perished by that time when the Chola Empire came. They made the Thanjavur temple. Thanjavur was one of their capitals. Yadava Empire was in Maharashtra area. These are their coins. They made a capital in Daulatabad, and they made the Ranganatha Swami temple. Kakatiya was a very important dynasty. I'm mentioning here because there is some reference to something very interesting. Similarly, Vijayanagar was a massive, much later. See, this is 4th century. We are coming to the later part of medieval. Vijayanagar is the empire who had a capital in Hampi. Hampi ruins are spread over kilometers. Hampi is supposed to be, it is named the biggest open-air museum of the world. It is a World Heritage Site and a worth visiting place. Surprisingly, their royal symbol was a pig. So this is their royal symbol, this is their coin.